Okay, lesson 5, this is manufacturing, and this one is to do with energy costs. To what extent is cost the most important factor in terms of deciding whether to locate in the UK, and also to what extent are exchange rates the most important factor in terms of determining cost competitiveness in the UK. Well, the exchange rate is obviously a very important factor, and the fact that the UK exchange rate is falling by 25% in the UK will no doubt make a big difference to the UK economy, and the hope from the government is that it will rebalance the UK economy towards manufacturing. But it's not the only factor, and it's probably not the most important factor. As I just outlined in the previous lesson, or the lesson after this, is the fact that in America, the fact that it's innovative with cheap energy prices is the reason why it's succeeded. Anyway, what I want to show you in this one is how you get good application and good analysis and reasonable evaluation all in one paragraph. Is it possible? I think it probably is. So if the exchange rate falls, export prices fall and import prices rise. A little bit of analysis in there. But it's not just based on cost. If you've got a great product, you've got great quality, you've got USPs, you've got an innovative product, e.g. Apple iPhone, Tata JLR, BMW Mini, they have lots of USPs, therefore they can charge high prices. They've created an inelastic demand for their product, which means that they can raise price and demand will fall by a much smaller proportion. So therefore, overall, certainly in the short run, they're going to make loads of money out of it. And also the fact that in the long run, probably those products will end up by being cash cows in relation to the Boston Matrix. So probably these are the key factors on here about whether or not the firm succeeds or not. However, it's a pretty good advantage really. If the UK exchange rate does fall, it's going to attract foreign direct investment, but it's going to be cheaper to buy into the UK, and it's going to be cheaper for them to export their goods from the UK. So in 2008, the UK exchange rate fell by 25%. Now, to give you an example of this, I've chosen a dramatic example. If the exchange rate falls from €2 to €1, so obviously that means our exchange rate has fallen. If you want £1,000 back, under this exchange rate, £1 to €2, you're going to charge €2,000. Under this exchange rate, we only need to charge €1,000 for exactly the same product to get £1,000 back. So clearly then, if the exchange rate falls, prices of exports will fall and prices of imports will rise. Well, the best situation for this to happen is if we have a high price elasticity of demand, right, and if our exchange rate falls, that means that export prices will fall. So here we go from PQ to P-Q-. A high price elasticity of demand always means a flat demand curve. P-Q- is much bigger than PQ. So for this will have then led to a rise in total revenue. Now clearly if that happens, that's clearly a good thing for the UK. But actually in reality, it's not likely to be the case in the UK. And particularly in terms of when import prices rise. Now what we have in the UK is we buy loads of commodities from abroad. So what happens then is their price of those commodities will go up from P to P-, and therefore demand will fall slightly for those products. But overall, once again, we'll be spending more money on those products, and that creates a problem for the UK. However, in the long term, one of the mega trends that's occurring in British business is resource efficiency, and because the price of those imports goes up, then our firms may well adapt to that situation. Particularly actually, if they're selling more exports, then they may have more money ready for investment to invest in the sort of technologies that are not going to waste energy. Yes, the exchange rate will definitely help the UK, right, but actually in 2013 the UK still had a record trade deficit of 5% of GDP, which is the biggest trade deficit since the war. So we've still got a long way in terms of improving our manufacturing sector. So therefore, in conclusion, we can say, yes, of course, the exchange rate is a pretty important factor actually, but probably not the most important factor. And we look at labour market flexibility, we look at infrastructure, we look at the corruption index, we look at a whole host of other factors. There you go. That's the second time I've done this lecture because I just deleted it off the camera for some unknown reason. Thank you. Lesson 5, and this here is manufacturing. Now I'm pretty annoyed with myself because what I've just done is I've just deleted these 2 bits of film just as I sat down to put this onto my Apple computer. However, right, One of the key questions we're going to ask is competitiveness and reducing energy costs. And if we look at the world today, one of the key countries that has taken off recently, or one of the rising global stars, according to the Boston Consulting Group, is America and Mexico. And one of the big reasons why America has taken off is because their energy costs have fallen by 25 to 35%. However, I mean, that's a major factor, because you look at Poland, their energy costs have almost doubled, if not increased by even more than that. So, or even China, their energy costs are rising all the time. But America has a winning combination in the fact that it's also innovative. And therefore it's got cheap energy costs, and also it's innovative, and it's also got a very flexible labour market, which is high productivity. If you have high productivity, then you've got lower cost per unit, and you're going to make higher profits. So therefore there is a lot of reshoring, which is firms coming back to America and producing their goods in America, partly because they're closer to the market, but partly because it's cheaper. And I wanted to suggest that you might want to have a look at the 10 mega trends as outlined by the KPGM report. So one of the key mega trends, another mega trend for the UK, is in fact energy efficiency. Now, in the long term, energy costs may fall because we may become more efficient and better at using energy. However, right now, the government has gone down the nuclear power route, and to attract money into the UK, they've offered those firms from China and France very high prices for energy. That means our manufacturing sector will also have to pay high prices. Now, however, our manufacturing sector may well become more energy efficient, so it may use less energy, so in the long term it may survive. So once again, this then is also down to the UK being innovative in terms of what it does. But it's not just that. We're also looking at other things that determines whether or not reducing costs is of major significance for the UK. Have we got the right infrastructure? Have we got the right labour market flexibility? The right catapult centres? Right, but right now, according to industry, their major concern is in fact energy. However, lots of companies have moved to the UK, Nissan, Tata, BMW. Now, why they moved to the UK is because the UK does pretty well on a whole series of factors. Okay, not so well on energy, but it does well on the others. So, for example, ease of doing business, and perhaps there's less corruption in the UK. So there's a whole host of factors as to what makes a firm successful, and not just energy, although energy is clearly very important. What I'm now going to do is I'm now going to talk about exchange rates as well after this. Okay,